Hi. I just got a message from somebody asking me for an update. I wasn't going to vlog anymore, but I will give you an update as best I can, and I got big news. I'm continuing to go to Grief Share. I have my days. It's going to happen off and on. The biggest news, though, here's something that happened this morning. I'm on my way. As soon as I hang up from this, I'm on my way to my friend's house. Her brother committed suicide yesterday. That's all I know. He actually put a suicide letter up on Facebook, and that's how they found out. So I'm on my way over there with flowers, a card, and some pizzas. And I will get more of the details then, but I found that out this morning. But I had my appointment. I'm sorry, give me a second here. When my brother was put into the hospital on Monday, and he had a cardioversion yesterday at 3:30. He was in a flutter, they call it, which is like a twin to AFib. And they believe after doing tests that he probably had a mini heart attack at some point and didn't even know it. This is the brother who has had his leg amputated and he's on dialysis, and so they're going to schedule for him to go into the cath lab later on. They're discharging him today, but they do want him to come back in. They're going to do a cath just to see if there's anything else in it, going on. But that's another issue. It's just, I swear, I don't know of another family, and I'm sure there is. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying that it seems like the drama is constant in my family, constant. So I go to my integrative practitioner yesterday. She's a nurse practitioner and owns her own business. She owns her own little practice. I haven't seen her in 6 months or more. And when I walked in, she acted like she was shocked, and she got up and hugged me and pushed me back. And, well, what's different? So, my God, you look great. What's different? And she sits me down and, what's going on? Oh my gosh. And you're here alone? First time I ever drove myself. Always had my husband take me. I said, yeah, I have my own car now. And she's like, what? What's going on? And I go, LDN. That's all I can tell you. LDN. I have no other excuse or any other possibility. So I'm not going to go into all the detail because we were in there for almost 2 hours, and she had 3 patients waiting for her out in the waiting room. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And she goes, no, I'm not. Because she said, you coming in today was meant to be. Everything you've gone through in the last several months with your mother, the last year with your mother, everything that you told me, because I told her all about the things that had happened at the hospital, all the things that happened at the palliative care, all the stuff I caught the nurses doing, just on and on and on. I should back up. After she's asking me what's different, what's going on with you, she goes, Selene, your countenance is so different. You look alive again. She goes, so do you have what's your future looking like? And I'm like, I have no plans. I go, all I can tell you is that I've kept my license. And I don't even know why I keep my license other than I can continue telling people I'm a nurse. I'm a licensed nurse. And she's got this big smile on her face. So we talk about the LDN, and I increased it as of last night. I'm on 2.25. I'm going to do that for a week, I think, and then go right to 2.5. She is convinced now, without a doubt, and she's got 400 patients on this drug and takes it herself, that because I've had such a good response to the little teeny I'm doing, she goes, I think you're going to do great when we get you to 4.5. So we're talking, and she says to me that she's meeting with her lawyers at the end of the day to sign for a LLC. She's starting her own home care business. And I say, oh, and I'm thinking she's telling me this because she's closing this practice. And I go, so this is no longer going to be? And she goes, no, I'm going to keep this going for at least 5 years. That's my vision until the other business gets off the ground, and then I will close this down. Oh, I should also mention that she fired Stephen Beck. If you Google him, he's a Lyme literate medical doctor in Albany. He has a pretty big practice, pretty big, well-known guy, Dr. Bach. She fired him. He would come in a couple times a month and rent space out of her office to treat Lyme patients, and she just got sick of him because he charged $1,300 an hour, and she has integrity. She goes, I could not be a part of that. And I told him, these people cannot afford you. They're desperate, and you're gouging them. And he said, what? He was very pompous about it. So she, just so you know, she fired a Lyme literate medical doctor. That's the integrity she has. So, and she never charged me for my visit yesterday because she starts talking about the business more and more and more and about what had happened with me. And she goes, so I'm going to tell you, when you walked in the door, this was all, I'm telling you, she never used God, but I have to say it was God. She never used God. She just said, never said universe. She just said it was all meant to be. She goes, when you walked in the door and my eyes laid on you, I said, that's who I need. I need Lainey. I need Lainey. So I was like, need me for what? And she goes, I want you to be a part of this new business. And I'm like, what? I couldn't even understand what she was saying. A job? I go, you're offering me a job? And she goes, yes. And I go, I can't work. You know I can't work. She said, yes, you can. She says, yes, you can. She said, you've been walking the walk. You don't just talk it. You walk it. You do it. You're still sick, and look at what you accomplish. You are driving, got your own car, took care of your mother, was at your mother's side for 2 months, 8 hours a day. You went to meetings. You handled all that. She goes, Lainey, you can't teach somebody compassion, but you can model it. And you are one of the most compassionate people I've ever met. And I was like, I won't go on. I told her my head was so big by the time I walked out of there, I didn't think I was going to get through the doorway, because she just kept telling me all the great things that she said. When I met you, you were on your couch in your living room. You couldn't even leave your living room. Look at you. And I was like, I can't commit to a job. I can't. There are days I can't get out of my own way. And she goes, that's why this is perfect for you. And she started explaining that, she goes, can you talk on the phone? Yes. Can you use a computer? Yes. Well, a lot of the work is going to be that, and you could do it right from home, because your title will be supervisor. You will be supervisor of my home health aides. And I'm thinking of approximately 10. I'm going to be hiring 10 home health aides, and you will be in charge of them. Right? Right? Are any of you going, what? Mm-hmm. She said, you've been a home health aide. Hold, please. Okay, sorry about that. It was getting my prescriptions filled at a pharmacy out of state. She found a new pharmacy, compounding pharmacy. It would cost me $14. $14. And I've been spending almost $40 a month. So anyway, she said, so all of my clients and all my patients' clients will have cameras put into their homes. That ensures coverage for my patients, clients, and my employees. And I said, well, I had cameras in my mother's place, and I can't tell you the stories. I can tell you the stories from being able to witness. I witness. She goes, well, that's exactly what. So you'll be able to monitor right from your home what's going on. You'll have to do unannounced home visits, as you know. I started to say, because I was a home health aide, then a nurse, and I've done home care as a nurse and a home health aide. So she goes, and you're a licensed nurse. I mean, she said, you'll have to have meetings. You can do that. But she said, and I said, but what about she goes, this is the great thing about this job. You will make your own schedule. You will be in charge. I'm just sitting there going, and she goes, you have plenty of time to mull this over. I'm going just today to just sign the papers. We've got plenty of time. Go home, sit on this. I said, I need to pray about it. Pray about it, sit on it, think about it. We'll get in touch again. We'll talk. Well, as we ease into it, I'll tell you more about what the requirements are. I was on supervisor of the home health aides. And I started thinking, well, you're my provider. You know how sick I am. I don't have to pretend with you. I don't have to make up excuses. You know what's going on in me. That's a nice thing. Anyways, I left there on the biggest high I've ever been because, if nothing else, she definitely boosted my ego because, honestly, in the last 6 years or 7 years, I didn't think I would ever work again, and I didn't think I'd ever be. And after my mom died, I just have been lost. And I kept thinking, is there something, Lord? Is there something that I can do, possibly do? So I'm praying about it. My family, I talked to almost all my family, and of course, they hands down take this job. This is a gift from God. This is a gift from God. They said, Mom, we've told you that you are like wasting your talents sitting home. And if you can possibly do anything, I can be on my computer at home. I can monitor. I can make phone calls. So I don't know anything more about the job because it's just being birthed as we speak. But she told me the job's yours. The job is yours. I want you. I am just flabbergasted. And she's putting me on another supplement. She wrote it down. I have to go and get it. But we are increasing the LDN. She talked to me about after we've gotten to the therapeutic level of the LDN, helping me get off the Klonopin if I'd like. Nobody's forced me to, but if I'd like, which I do. She's had success doing that. So that's the update. My brother is in the hospital, but he's leaving today. One of my best friend's brothers committed suicide yesterday. And I have to go over there. I want to go over there. I got to go over there and be with them. Just 3 weeks since my mom passed. I wrote a grief share letter. Should read it to you guys. I'll do it another time. At Grief Share, they encourage you to write a letter to all your family and friends. And I did. And I'm journaling again. So I'm having a lot of heart. I feel like I'm having heart issues, but I don't know if it's the Klonopin that's doing it, if it's the whatever, Lyme, EBV. I mean, I feel like my heart is fluttering, but it's not. When I take my pulse, my blood pressure's kind of been staying okay lately. I feel like it's pounding and racing, and then when I take my pulse, it's not pounding and it's not racing, but it feels like it in my chest. So I have to say, I took the 2.25 last night, first time, and I slept good. And I have a lot of energy this morning. And that was just the first bump up. So I'm kind of feeling positive about that. My head is, I said to her, I go, you know how I describe my head? It's like a kaleidoscope. Either that or it's like a snow globe and somebody keeps shaking it. And she said, I know, but you can do this job. She had no qualms about me being able to do this job. I said, okay, glad you have such faith in me. So that's my update, guys. I'm moving along. I encourage anyone who can get their hands on LDN to give it a try. Please, please, I will say this 1 billion times over, please. If you can find somebody who will prescribe LDN, try it. The worst thing that's going to happen is it's not going to help. But the best thing that's going to happen is you're going to end up having better results than you are now. Don't sit on your thumbs. Find somebody and try it. I can't stress that enough. All this other stuff that people prescribe for Lyme disease or whatever, and again, I don't even know if truly Lyme is my issue. And I don't see people moving along as fast as I have on the LDN. So, LDN, God bless. God bless. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your prayers. I covet the prayers. I'm praying for most of you, the ones I know. Thank you. That's all I can say. Lord willing, I may come back on again another time. Not sure. Bye-bye.